Kugan Cassius for IFL TV in association with MATHEWS Gym Marbella. We're in Liverpool here for the announcement that Derry Matthews will face Richard Abil for the WBA lightweight title March the 6th. Echo Arena, Mersey boys with me. I have promoter Francis Warren. What a coup this is.
And brave, yeah. It's a big fight for Derry, a big fight for Liverpool. Just delighted to get it on. I think Derry's, he's had a long, hard career. He's only 32. People seem to think, talk about Derry like he's in his early 40s or something. But he's well due this shot, and I think you can sort of see it, and he's going to take it with both hands.
Obviously, I don't want to go too much into it, but obviously we know that ABRIL was meant to be facing Crolla, and you said in the press conference, wish Anthony Crolla a speedy recovery. But as a result of that, there was an opportunity there for Richard Abil, who was now fightless, to still fight in England, and you've taken that opportunity.
Well, this is about Derry Matthews. The long and short of it. Of course, we do wish Anthony all the best. It's an absolutely terrible thing what happened to him, and I wish him all the speedy recovery. Anthony's one of the nice lads in boxing, I hope to see him back to his best soon. But Derry, we saw opportunity for Derry. We've got a duty to provide the best opportunities for our fighters. There was an opportunity. There's a guy who was had in his mind he was coming over to the UK anyway, in ABRIL, and the opportunity arose, and we took it.
We kind of always understood that Derry would be having a huge fight regardless on the 6th of March anyway. Was there any other names thrown in the mix that was a possible opponent for Derry for the 6th before this ABRIL fight?
There was the Perez was mooted, was talked about. I think Perez had a good win last Saturday, but like I said, this opportunity came up, and it's just kind of like if you're gonna have a fight for an interim or a full title, what are you going to go for? So it's pretty obvious what happened. It arose and we took it.
Terence Crawford obviously is the new star on the scene, and he's really come about with his recent wins over Burns and Gamboa and Ray Beltran. But a lot of people consider ABRIL still to be the number one lightweight in the world. So how do you split these two, Francis?
What, ABRIL and Crawford? Well, ABRIL, he's a very durable guy. He's quick, very light on his feet, quick hands. Crawford's rangy, and can hit you from absolutely anywhere in the ring. And they're two very different styles. I think personally, ABRIL will come out on top if the two were to fight. I think if you pressure Crawford, that's when you'd see what he's really made of. I think personally, one of the winner of Flanagan and Ormond and Crawford's going to be a fantastic fight. I think. I think both Flanagan and Ormond are both very pressure fighters, come forward guys, and hopefully if we can see one of those two beat Crawford and then set something up with Derry if Derry can beat ABRIL.
Ormond and Flanagan face each other at Civic Hall in Wolverhampton on the 14th of February. Nice one for doing that, by the way, Valentine's Day. That's not going to earn us people with partners any brownie points. But anyway, it's another issue. But how confident... Go out in Wolverhampton.
Quality, yeah. Don't say I never take you anywhere.
How confident are you that the winner of that you can secure, not having to wait around for a shot for that WBO title, and you can secure that quite quickly for one of the two who wins that fight?
Well, it was supposed to take place at the end of last year in Sheffield. Obviously, Stephen got a virus and had to withdraw. Terry kept busy and had a little tick over fight. We'll be pushing to get it made. When the winner of that is ready, and when Crawford becomes available. We're looking at sort of 8 to 10 weeks after that, hopefully, and then set something up big. Hopefully, world title wise domestically, domestic world title fight. So I should say in the summer.
Derry Matthews has been written off for the last 3 or 4 years. Every time. When he's had a defeat, people said, that must be the end of Derry Matthews now. But he's kept at it. He's had a lot of hard fights, but persistence has paid off. And March the 6th will be testament to that.
Well, I think, Derry says he has an off night against Ormond. Yeah, he might have had an off night. I think Stephen just performed extremely well, and I wouldn't take one thing away from Stephen's performance that night. I thought he boxed superbly, and absolutely to a game plan, and it paid off completely. Didn't let Derry get out the blocks, but since then Derry has completely outclassed Martin Gethin, who is he's a good operator at that level, and then put in a punch perfect performance against Adam Dingsdale. Obviously, Abril brings a completely different, problems to Derry than either of those two. Probably no disrespect to the guys, but probably those two combined. Abril is, as you said earlier, he's regarded as the best lightweight on the planet. So, no matter what Derry Matthews gets thrown at him, he'll always keep coming back at it. He'll always be there or thereabouts. So, he's got to be on top of his game against Abril, and. From what him and Danny have the confidence you can already hear in their voices, I think Abril will be in for a big surprise.
You mentioned Martin Gethin there. Can you make any comment on the situation regarding Martin Gethin and if he, what we've been reading on Twitter about him signing for one fight and meant to be fighting on another show? And can you make any comment on that front?
No, it's not what we're here to talk about.
Okay, that's fair enough. Just because you mentioned him, that was all it was. March the 6th, though, sees two huge world title fights on the same bill. What a night it could be for Liverpool and for British boxing.
Well, it is the biggest show ever put on in Liverpool. I think it's two world title fights, two homegrown fighters challenging. At the very, very top of their, of their game. Paul's going for challenging for his second world title at a different weight against a well-established champion in Tete. Obviously, that was supposed to take place last year. Tete had to withdraw, so we've managed to keep that one together and give Paul the opportunity to win a second world title in front of his home fans. And Derry, after a long, hard career, he's going to be hopefully have that WBA belt raised above his head in front of 9,000 screaming Liverpudlians. Plus, the other, we've got Liam Smith on, Jazza Dickens, Jack Cattrall, Kev Satchel, and Tom Stalker's on as well. It's going to be a fantastic night. Did I say Liam Smith as well? I did.
Can we expect any more announcements regarding this show now, or are we done and just a few opponents to be named?
A couple of opponents have got to be nailed down. Jason McClory, our matchmaker, has been working very hard on those, and we should get those in the next sort of 24, 48 hours.
Okay, Francis Warren, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. At least you want to talk to me. There's some people out there that don't want to talk to me.
I want to talk to you, Coog. You've always got something interesting to say. Yeah, always. You look very sharp today as well. Yeah. Makes a change, actually.
I'll take that as a compliment. All right, listen, thanks for talking to us, and we'll talk to you, nearer the build-up to probably Wolverhampton first. Obviously, that's the first show. All right, thank you very much.